By now, you've done something that most people never bother to do. You've taken a serious look at your expenses. Not just vaguely, but in a structured way through the EDL framework. You've tagged what's essential, what's discretionary, and what's luxurious. That's a massive first step, and I hope you've already noticed some shifts in your awareness. But here's the thing. Awareness is not the same as alignment. See, tagging something as essential might give us the illusion that it's non-negotiable. But is that truly the case? Just because something feels necessary doesn't mean it's financially wise. Let's say you're paying Rs 35,000 per month for rent in a prime area of the city because it's closer to your office and looks good on your LinkedIn stories. But you also have an EMI, school fees, and no emergency fund. Is that rent really an essential? Or is it a financial decision that's dragging your future down quietly? This is where most budgeting systems fall short. They categorize by purpose, not by impact. That's exactly why this week, we move beyond the EDL lens into a far more powerful filter. One that speaks directly to your goal of financial freedom. It's the asset versus liability filter. Let me simplify it right away. Any expense you make is either building your future, an asset, or slowing it down, a liability. Yes, it's that black and white. And no, this isn't about guilt. It's about clarity. The kind of clarity that creates freedom. Let's bring in a simple definition you'll remember forever. An asset expense is something that either grows your money, protects your money, or helps you earn more money. A liability expense is something that doesn't do any of that. And often, it makes your money disappear faster. Now you might be thinking, wait, so everything in my essential list isn't necessarily good? Exactly. That's the trap. The emotional label of need makes us blind to financial consequence. Let me give you a few examples to bring this home. Let's say you spend Rs 1,000 per month on a SIP in a well-diversified mutual fund. That's an asset expense. It compounds over time, builds wealth, and gives you future options. Now let's say you spend Rs 1,000 every weekend on Swiggy or Zomato for food you didn't plan for. That's not helping your health, wealth, or well-being. That's a liability expense. The same amount, vastly different impact. Or maybe you're paying for Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, and one more OTT platform. You only use one or two regularly. The rest? Silent liabilities. Brains dressed up as conveniences. Here's the biggest eye-opener. Even your EMI can be an asset or a liability. If it's for a property that you're renting out for more than your EMI, asset. If it's for a depreciating vehicle that's used rarely, but drains fuel, insurance, and maintenance. Liability. Same expense, different intent, different result. And this is where the EDL lens falls short. The world might tell you that groceries are essential. But if you're buying imported snacks, junk food, and overpriced gourmet items you don't actually need, is that an essential or a leaky liability? Are you seeing the difference now? The reason we add this asset liability filter is because your goal is not just to reduce expenses. Your goal is to align every rupee you spend with your freedom plan. Because freedom doesn't just come from cutting expenses. It comes from ensuring that the money you do spend is working for you, not against you. Let's take a step back for a second. In week 3, we talked about core values. And we've consistently referred back to your goal, your one thing, financial freedom. If you remember that visual from Gary Keller's concept, the domino effect that starts with aligning every decision with your one thing. This is the same. When your expenses are mostly liability-oriented, it's like setting up dominoes that keep falling backwards, taking you away from your financial goals. When you redirect them toward asset-based spending, they start moving forward. So starting today, I want you to add a second column next to your 30-day expense tracker. One for asset or liability. Now don't worry, you don't have to get it right 100% yet. In fact, just go with your gut. For each expense, ask yourself, did this spend help me grow, protect, or earn money? If yes, tag it as an asset. If not, tag it as a liability. Some of you might feel stuck with certain spends. But Jitin, my car EMI is unavoidable. Or that was a medical emergency I had to spend. I get it. That's exactly why we'll go deeper over the next 4 videos. In the next video, we'll revisit what asset expenses truly are. But this time, not just through my lens, but also through the lens of Robert Kiyosaki from Rich Dad, Poor Dad and Cash Flow Quadrants. You'll learn to distinguish expenses that truly make you rich from those that only look important. In video 3.3, we'll refine asset expenses even further, using Ron Malhotra's classification into operating, lifestyle, intellectual, and financial assets. This will help you rebalance your current mix. Then, we'll turn to liabilities in video 4. Not to judge, but to identify which of your routine spends are slowing your financial engine. And finally, in video 5, we'll explore the gray zone, expenses that don't clearly fall into either camp. And I'll give you my favorite 2-question filter to reclassify them with clarity. This week is not about regret. It's about realignment. It's about power. Because once you view your expenses through this dual lens, EDL plus asset liability, you stop being a passive spender and start becoming an intentional builder. Remember, the money you earn has one job: to help you build a life that reflects your values. The money you spend has the same responsibility. If it isn't moving you closer to your freedom goal, it's quietly pulling you away from it. So here's your micro action before we meet again. Pull up your 30-day EDL tagged sheet. Add one more column and start tagging. Asset or liability. Be honest. Be curious. Don't judge. We're just getting started. In the next video, we'll unpack exactly what makes an expense a real asset and how the rich think about expenses completely differently from the average person. I'll see you there.